Hey, what's up? My name is Lynwood Robinson. Welcome to the Seito Podcast. This is episode 2. Today I have a really good friend of mine, amazing producer, MC. His name is Darp Malone, Justin Darp Malone.
Yes, Lynwood. How you doing, sir?
Good, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you here, man. It's been a long time.
Yes, too long.
So let's go back. We've known each other, 24 years?
At least.
Nice.
Since Iceman.
The Iceman coming.
It was the Iceman.
That's funny. So let's go back to when did you start getting into music?
Maybe 1990, 1991. Well, I mean, since we were kids, actually, we used to try to write music, me and my sisters, and I just kind of got a little more serious and into it in the 90s, early 90s, 91.
So, okay, I remember back in Edmonton, we had that nice little clique of a whole bunch of different MCs. You had myself and
Beat Nation.
Beat Nation, yes.
Yeah, Quick Trouble, Maximum Definitive, bunch of, yeah, man, I can't even remember the rest of them.
I know, that's it.
Bunch of cool cats, though.
And so, what was the first album you ended up doing?
On to the next, Maximum Definitive. Yeah.
And then what was it, 90?
92?
92.
92 or 93, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, because the Junos and that stuff was in it. Probably right out of frame.
Oh, you never know.
Too relaxed.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, that was 1992. 1992.
And then now we had Click.
Mm-hmm.
So Click is now in Toronto.
Click's in Toronto. He's managing a group or a band called Seito. Amazing rock band.
Do you remember the first female artist you worked with?
Trisha. Just Trisha. Trisha Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What track was that?
I Want to Be With You. You remember? You don't remember?
No. I remember. I can't remember exactly how the hook is, but I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Good song.
So now, the year that we got together, so when I was the dancer.
That might have been 93. Probably
93.
early 93, yeah.
Right. And then we did the Much Music Awards, and you guys won a Much Music Video Award.
Yeah, we did. Well, we won the Much Music Video Award in late 93. You came with us for the Junos.
Yeah, we came for the Junos.
And that was in late 92, maybe early 93.
Do you remember the transition from when, I remember when hip-hop was, every time we were trying to get some stuff, we had to get it from New York.
Yep.
We got a tape, a cassette tape, Hot 97 or DJ Red Alert.
That's right.
And we're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But there was nobody playing it, hip-hop at all, unless it was college radio.
Yep, there was one or two record stores. I think Sound Connection was one of them in Edmonton, where, we had friends, like Donovan, a good friend of mine, used to come to New York. He'd get some records. He'd stay with his grandma. He'd go to the record store, basically listen to Hot 97 or WBLS or whatever was popping at the time. And he'd come back with mixtapes, records, and everyone would show up at his place with cassettes, and we just record them all. Everyone would get their little dub. And yeah, man, if we were lucky, Sound Connection would import it. We'd go there on Thursday afternoons, get the little vinyl if we could. And yeah, that was it. It was just like you had to really dig to get music out there.
And who was the first Canadian artist you remember, hip-hop artist?
Mishimi. Yeah.
Now, and then out of that, now, let me get this straight. Out of that Mishimi clique, was Maestro after that?
Maestro was shortly after. They all kind of blew up, or at least out west, as far as us hearing about them, they all kind of blew up around the same time. Mishimi, Maestro Fresh West, and very shortly thereafter was the Dream Warriors.
That's right. And that would probably be the biggest group out of the three that kind of popped in the early 90s.
In the early 90s, I don't know who was actually the biggest, because Mishimi, she got her deal with First Priority, which was huge.
Right, in New York.
That's
with MC Lyte.
MC Lyte. Man.
Oh, was Mooney Love in that clique?
No.
Okay.
Not First Priority. They were all they were crew.
Right.
But First Priority, I think, was Milk D. MC Lyte. A few other cats I can't remember. But Mishi she was one of them. And yeah, man. She was the first Canadian artist that I actually paid money to buy a ticket to go see.
Right.
When she came to Edmonton, I bought a record, I got it autographed, and she was actually the first artist that I sampled.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of fact. Yeah.
That's funny. I remember, was it was it last year, or the year before? I saw on Instagram. It's either you were with Mishi or something, or
Yeah.
or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Old school, like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. She did a show maybe last year, and me and a good friend went to see it. And it was I hadn't really seen her, and even though we live in the same city, I never really ended up in the same place. So it was good to see her, man. Approached her after she pretended she knew me, but she didn't. She's like,
yeah. I know that. Yeah. So, okay, over the years, you had you produced for Rain, a couple tracks of King Rain out of Toronto, also, and who else?
Mathematic, E. Dot.
Complex,
of course.
Yeah.
Mr.
Complex.
Mr. Complex. I can't forget Mr. Complex. Yeah. Did a few little things.
But it's like it's interesting because I remember way back in the day, we kind of had this whole underground scene where it's like, okay, Edmonton had something going on, Vancouver had a clique that were doing things, but everybody was mad cool.
Yeah, I think it was because the country was. I mean, physically, obviously, it's a vast country, but as far as the industry goes, it was pretty small. So whenever they had Music West or whenever they had something going out in Toronto, basically everybody would show up. No matter where you were from, everyone would show up, and sometimes we bump into the same people. Bass, for example, the Rascals.
And Rascals out of
Rascals was out of Vancouver. That's right. Brass Monk from Toronto, and we just kind of kept ending up in the same places. So it was tight knit, even though we were spread all over the country.
I can't remember. Did you go on that? I know I did 3 or 4 of those dates. The when Fresh Prince and everything came out. Did you come on that tour?
Yeah, no, I didn't tour with them. We opened for them in Toronto.
Okay.
Back in probably 92, 91.
Okay, because I did was it Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and then I can't remember who the dance.
The Hype.
The Hype. Yes. They I think they did the rest of the tour or something.
Okay.
I remember. Were you around when we had the odd folk come in, like King T, Ice T came in, and that was way back in the day when he did that hard rock kind of punk rock album. What was that called?
Man, I can't remember. I can't remember.
It was like a hard punk hip hop thing that was going on.
Yeah.
But I remember it was weird because I think we did this show in the convention center or something. So my vibe was always kind of that positive thing, and then next thing I know, you got behind it, and then a bunch of different. It was like the craziest kind of tour opening. The good thing about being in Edmonton or Canada per se, if you're an MC and any artist that came in, it was like back in those days, like we need somebody to open. I don't care who it is.
One of us got it.
Exactly.
One of us,
and it was great. And even if that one person got on, somehow the whole clique ended up doing stuff. So that vibe and that energy of it was dope.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. What was the last album you produced?
Hero.
Okay.
Hero was the last complete album that I produced, which was E. Dot and myself. And hey, man, I'm proud of it.
It was a great album.
It was great. Yeah.
So here's a question. So if your son wanted to get into it, what advice would you give him?
I would tell him to make sure that whatever you do, you love what you're doing. You got to really enjoy what you're doing primarily. All the other stuff, as far as wanting to be famous and wanting to be a rock star, is great. But you got to love what you're doing because there's so much other stuff out there. There's so much competition. I mean, of course, you have to believe in yourself, but at the same time, if you love what you do, primarily, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You have a great time with it.
If you could go back in time and give your 19-year-old self or 20-year-old self some advice, what would that be?
I would have told myself to believe in myself a little bit more. You know what I mean? I got to a point where I got to a certain position, like when we got nominated for the Junos and when we had the Much Music Video Awards, and we actually started to talk to some labels and so forth. And I actually was trying to act like I felt like I belonged, or I felt like I belonged there, but truthfully, I didn't really believe that I did.
Right.
I felt like a lot of stuff happened, and I wasn't really ready for it, even though it seemingly was ready for me. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So the whole time I was kind of just like going through the motions, but I didn't really feel like I belonged there. I believed in my skills, but I didn't believe like that I was supposed to be like in any way famous, or I wasn't really cool with the interviews, as you can tell. the videos, the photo shoots, all that stuff. I never really,
Well, I mean, we've known each other forever, and no BS. It's like, I've always thought you were an amazing producer, an amazing MC.
Thank you.
And I tell a lot of people, oh man, you gotta check out Darp, you gotta check out Hero, you gotta do that, because it is phenomenal. People are missing out.
Thank you, sir.
And I don't know, but you never know what the future holds. But I hope you do come out with something else, and even if it's for fun, But
I think I will. I always do believe that, I still got all my equipment. Every now and then I go down there and I, mess around a little bit. And I believe that one day I'm going to sit down and maybe make another album. Just, even if nobody hears it, just for myself. I might send it to you and a couple other friends. And,
Right.
But yeah, man, I think it's in me. It's something that I always see myself doing going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I think, everybody goes through a transition. And I like to think of it as stew or gumbo. It's all here, and now you just got to let it sit and simmer and do what it does.
Yeah.
And when it's done and ready to be eaten, that's what's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Brother, thank you so much for your time. My man, have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Back
sir.
to T-Dot, or what do the youngins call it now? The 6 or
The
something?
6. Yeah, I just found out the other day. No, I knew it was a 6, but I couldn't understand why.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no.
Talking about all the little, anyhow.
See, when you're 46 and 44, we don't know what the heck's going on with these youngins. Anyway, the Seito Podcast is about taking the opportunity to learn at every chance. And I like to just go out and interview people that I love, admire. It gives me an opportunity to learn. So, always be a learner. Peace.
Oh.